So we're going to talk first about building products, and we're going to talk about what the problem is and why we're here today. So, kind of from a poll perspective, I want to just get an idea. I guess all of you are focused solely on engineering. Is that right? How many are totally focused on front-end engineering or engineering? Okay, okay. What's everybody else doing then? Different. Go ahead, speak up. Yeah.
I'm here for the engineering side of it.
Yeah, but what do you do in your day job? You engineer?
I'm involved in lots of things. It's a small startup.
From like product side, design side, engineering side, or what's?
Product concept,
cool.
marketing.
Good, excellent. Okay, good. And a few other folks, what's some of the range of stuff that you do in your daily job? I'll point you. You right there, front row.
No, I'm engineering.
Engineering, good. And you?
UX and...
So design and engineering. So how many people here are focused mostly on design? One person, okay. And then how many people are doing design and engineering? Handful, okay. Cool, good. So, so I'm trying to get a feel for you folks and understand. So are some people here more from a product side, product management side? Anybody? Okay, good. So it sounds like mostly engineering crowd, right? Good, okay, cool. So, and the other thing I want to try to find out too is kind of how you work in teams, because every company works slightly different. So I want to try to make sure we adapt the material to your situation. Maybe someone tell me about a typical way your product gets built or your website gets built. Who are the people that are involved, and kind of what are the steps that take place? And that'll help me. So somebody want to volunteer, be brave and speak up, and tell me the journey to get a product or a feature out the door. It's early in the morning.
So typically at Room and Board,
Yep.
depending on what we're working on, the vendor managers who work directly with the people who actually build, let's just say like a sofa, would work with the web marketing department and try to figure out, based on that product, how do they want to market it?
Yeah.
And then how best to get that on the web, the catalog, and who knows what. Web marketing works out the UX, then the design, and then that comes down to, I guess you'd say, engineering. We implement it.
So how does that come down to you? Does it come down to as a spec, or does it come down?
Well, it used to come down in wireframes, but that's been getting too bulky. So then we just get a couple of PSDs, and then we kind of have like a human wireframe. We just ask her questions all day.
Yeah. And you go through, how long does that cycle go through as you try to understand?
It depends on the feature.
Yeah.
We work in, what would you say, like month-and-a-half iterations.
Yeah.
But lately, a lot of the features have been running for maybe 2 iterations.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Do you follow sort of an agile methodology?
It's agile-like.
Yeah, that's good actually. I like that better than regular agile. So somebody else, you've heard his story. This is the kind of thing I'm trying to find out. Maybe tell your story of how things work at your company. Yeah.
Product management sends down a spec.
Uh-huh.
Written up as a document.
Yep.
There's some possibly screenshots from similar sort of products, and we just implement that.
Yeah. And do you feel that to be always satisfying? I'm getting a smile. It's sometimes it is, sometimes it's not, right?
Sometimes it is, sometimes
Right.
it's not.
What do you think sometimes is missing in that whole process?
Maybe a little feedback.
Feedback, yeah. Because engineering has some important, and also I think I would guess that a number of you have maybe have some design background, or maybe you do apply design too. So there's at least that strong interest there, right? Other persons, someone else who, yes. And tell me your name too.
Melissa.
Melissa, okay, cool.
We have someone who's in charge of being the product manager.
Yep.
And they're basically the liaison between the client and our team.
Yep.
And so we will bring them in with our planning meetings. He'll give us a list of requirements, and we'll start breaking them up into user stories and discussing the technical aspects of each one.
Yep.
And then he'll leave for a little bit, and we'll continue talking about it and stack up our questions that we have, and then he'll come back again when we're finishing up the meeting.
Yeah.
And we'll ask him the questions, and then we'll start the sprint.
Yeah. And so when you're breaking the stories down, where does design come into that? Are you doing both functions, design and engineering, or?
We have a pretty small team, and we have one person that does all of the design.
Right.
And how that basically works is somebody from marketing will draw up the wireframe basically.
Yep.
And then he will usually have his own meetings with our product manager and start implementing those things while everyone else works on the back
Yeah.
end.
Does it work pretty well? Are there issues with that?
It's a work in progress.
Yeah. And what's some of the challenges?
Just making sure that we have the right requirements. Quite frequently, we will have to ask the product manager questions throughout the sprint. And we need to kind of focus and really drill into problems and user stories.
And I'm sure from time to time, the changes can be enough that it can be kind of disruptive to the engineering process, right?
Right.
Yeah, very typical. No, somebody else who maybe has a little bit different angle. Did anybody have a different angle, or pretty much the same, or? Don't be shy. You guys have been together. This is the 4th time. You should all know each other. You probably hang out for beer and everything else, right? Ha ha ha. Someone else. I'm not going to give up that easy. Yes.
So I don't know how common my practice is.
Yeah.
I started out in the design world and started moving into engineering just because I wanted all that control. I
Yeah.
wanted to keep the things that were the babies in the design that sometimes fell apart when that got handed off. So, and then my marketing, my background is in marketing. So
Yeah.
A lot of the times I understand exactly what the client is trying to accomplish business-wise, and I try to keep that in line. So my process is usually I'm doing the wireframes, I'm getting sign-off on how that looks, whether that hits the objectives, and then doing the design, and then getting sign-off on that, and then going off and building.
Cool. Yeah. How big's the team?
So when I was here, 2 or 3 would generally get pulled in, and now where I am now, probably about 6 or 7.
Yeah. And that's the whole team with kind of the business owner and
Right,
the design and engineering.
Right.
What's some other team sizes? Anybody bigger than 6 or 7? Yeah. Okay. How many? Just shout out. Greater than 10?
We've got to have about 20.
20. Okay. And that's is that for the site itself or the?
I would just say tech. Yeah, we're growing like that, yeah.
Okay.
Marketing, you'd be, if you included marketing and web marketing, you'd be, you said 50? There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Not
well,
all dedicated just to the web.
Right. Right. And of course, what comes with that is communication issues, right?
Oh, yeah.
Imagine me going from Netflix to PayPal with 13,000 people at PayPal. I've got some great stories for you there. A lumbering company trying to turn it around. Yeah. So others, what's the biggest? We got around 50, hundreds.
Where's Best Buy? Yeah, where's Best Buy? You guys have like a million.
Are you Best Buy guys?
Yeah.
All right. What size is your engineering organization?
Yeah, I don't even know if
Yeah.
we're including more than the front-end developers. I'm a manager, so
Yeah.
I have close to 20 front-end developers.
Yeah.
I'm reporting, that doesn't include UX and the back-end.
Right. And so what area of the site or the business does your team?
We do the front-end user interface development for the main.
The main website? Yeah, cool, excellent. And how many like product or marketing or product owners do you have that you interface with? A bunch or?
I think for project team we do. For project team that we have a product manager and business owner, that's
Yeah.
what they call it. So the product manager will do it. I mean, the project and product manager meet together and decide what they want to do, and then they come back with the UX and BA and
Right.
finally down to us. And
Exactly.
We have been very project-based up till now, so every time we've made changes on the website, it's been a new project, and there would be project managers and things like that involved, and we're kind of switching to a more product-based.
Yeah, we're doing the same thing actually.
So now we're just ramping up, say like the commerce team, list and checkout.
Yeah,
And just
more
kind of-
dedicated teams. Yeah.
dedicated to card and checkout, so then they'll of course have business owners and project managers.
Real similar to what we're doing. Yeah, and I can tell you some of the crazy ideas people get with what a dedicated team means too. So we could probably have some fun conversations about that. Yeah, pretty much anything people can pervert, they will. Cool.